So we are live. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sumair Abro. I'm a business coach and I'm on a mission to help people build their dream career and business. I'm very excited because today our guest is Julie. She is a yoga guru. She's been doing yoga since I don't know, since he was born, since 12, as far as I know. So I'm very excited to have her. Julie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Sumair. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to laughing with you. I'm looking forward to laughing with everyone out there. So here we go. Yes, my name is Julie Blamphin, and I'm the founder of Celebrate the Pelvic Floor. And we're on a mission to bring pelvic floor awareness into more of a mainstream level of conversation through live events and online learning. I'm a yoga teacher. I teach specifically women's pelvic floor wellness through yoga posing, breath work, laughter, and fascia release.
Wow. So we'll get into all those things a little later. But as you know, the format of this show is that, I'll ask some just silly questions. And I like to start with one right now. Are you ready, Julie?
Oh, gosh.
Okay. So
I think I am.
So before the question, I want to show you a picture. Okay. Look at the picture and then I'm going to ask you a question. So here you go. Are you seeing the picture?
Yeah.
So my question is, what are your thoughts on beer yoga? Is it the best of both worlds or not?
Beer is good. Yoga is good. So beer and yoga, double good. That is definitely a 2 thumbs up. Beer yoga.
So you approve it, right?
But it sounds like fun.
It sounds like fun, right? It's interesting, with a lot of people doing yoga and getting into yoga. 2017 was the time that this really started getting trendy. So I thought, I would ask a yoga guru what their thoughts are on beer with yoga. Now, let me ask you about the pelvic floor that you mentioned a little earlier. For anyone tuning in, if you want to learn more about the pelvic floor, below you'll find the website link for Julie. You'll learn more about it. But since you're here, let's ask Julie about pelvic floor. So, I mean, what exactly is it? When I first, I can think of crazy things. When you mentioned pelvic floor, I thought it was some sort of new floor design, but so apparently it's not. So what is it? And how are you helping people with it? Can you tell us?
I sure can. I'm happy to tell you. So our pelvis, right? It is the connection between our top body and our lower body, and our pelvic floor is at the base of our pelvis. It is a couple layers of muscles right at the base of our pelvis, the base of our torso, and it connects in the front at the pubic bone, in the back at the tailbone, and on the sides at the ischial tuberosities. And it helps us with sexual function. It helps us with urination and defecation. And it helps to support the internal organs in the abdominal cavity. And it helps to keep us upright. It's part of our stability center. It's part of our deep core.
Wow. Now that I understand it more, I think I'm going to take it seriously. And what exactly do you do with this, this program? I mean, is it different than yoga, part of yoga? How does it work?
It is part of yoga. So I'm a certified pelvic floor yoga teacher.
Okay.
And so in Celebrate the Pelvic Floor, we practice yoga. We practice laughter because this is also our center of joy. According to yoga tradition, this is our place of emotion and joy, but it's also our place of shame and fear. So I bring in the emotional component as well as the physical component of yoga. I bring in a lot of laughter and a lot of positivity to Celebrate the Pelvic Floor programs.
Awesome. That's beautiful. And anyone who is tuned in, you can go check out her website. Also, her Facebook page. It's called Celebrate the Pelvic Floor. Check it out, and you can learn more about it. And speaking of yoga, I've always wondered, and I wanted to ask you, what do you call a bagel that has mastered yoga?
I told you, if I couldn't answer something, I'm just gonna laugh. So that's all I got, Sumair.
Okay, so a bagel who has mastered yoga, you call it a pretzel. If that makes sense. If that makes sense.
That's good.
Okay. Now, moving on to something a little more serious.
All right.
This COVID thing happened, and we all went into lockdown, and I was really emotionally hurt also. And one of the things which really helped me was regularly exercising, doing yoga with my wife, and the mental benefits are amazing. I wanted to actually ask you, as a yoga expert, what are some of the mental benefits of doing yoga? I think a lot of us know about the physical. How does it mentally help you?
Whew, that's a loaded question. Yeah. We could talk for the next hour about that. So we have all of these thoughts, right, that are hopping around in the mind like monkeys in a tree. Yeah. And it's really hard to calm monkeys hopping around in a tree. So our yoga practice can be a way to calm the monkeys. To put it simply, we're tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system when we practice yoga. When we practice a nice calm breath technique, it can help us to clear those monkeys in the mind. It can help to stimulate healing. It can help to stimulate the rest and digest side of self, to help us focus and find clarity and joy and peace and calm and grounding, ...
Awesome. One of the things that when I'm working with people, coaching them, physical fitness is such a critical part. Even if you do a 10-minute walk, it just makes a huge difference on your mental fitness and your ability to focus. So thank you for sharing a lot of that, useful information. And, I've always wondered, because, yoga teachers are like so elegant, and they just can, tell you about why yoga is important so easily. And I wanted to ask you, why does everyone love yoga teachers? I can tell you why, but I want to hear from you.
That's a loaded question. I love to remind all my clients, all my yogis, all my students that thank goodness for yoga, because if it weren't for that practice, I'd be a hot mess all the time. Now I'm just a hot mess some of the time. So, yoga is a way for us to come back to a place of peace, to a place of positivity, to a place of non-judgment.
Right.
Because there's so much that's happening that's sort of yanking us off balance. And if we can practice laughter, breath work, smiling, that's one of my practices. People often say that, oh, you're so positive, you're always smiling, and you bring so much light. Yeah. And I think to myself, it's a practice. Because sometimes, again, I'm a hot mess. I'm anxious, I'm reactionary, I'm downright bitchy, but thank goodness for yoga, because it's a practice. It's a practice.
Or you could have said that people love yoga teachers because they can bend over backwards for you.
You could say that
too. Very cool. Now, moving on to, you mentioned laughter therapy. It's funny, when we were talking about this, that you talked about laughter therapy, and I'm a big fan of laughter therapy. I've used it a lot in my workshops also. And if anyone who's tuned in, they want to learn more about Julie's laugh live videos, they can visit her Facebook page. You can see the ticker on the bottom of the screen and learn more about it. And I wanted you to, tell me a little bit about why, laughter is part of your business, and also maybe do live laugh therapy that you do with us.
Okay, thanks for asking, Sumair. So a number of years ago, I was trained in laughter yoga. So I'm a certified laughter yoga leader.
Wow.
And I've practiced it and I've taught it in a number of my workshops. But when I really started honing my focus about 6 years ago to women's pelvic floor wellness, and I started recognizing the similarities between this area of the body, this pelvic floor area of the body, and joy. I started to recognize that, all right, laughter needs to be a part of Celebrate the Pelvic Floor. It consciously needs to be a part of every one of my programs. So that being said, excuse me, this past March, April, May, when the pandemic started to really restrict us all and to lock in some of the fear and the unknowns, I started recognizing, hey, maybe there's something to this laughter practice, and maybe I could bring it out there and share it with the world. So I started to do Facebook Live laughs, and they were a big hit. They were a big hoot, and it just started as something silly, and I did a whole bunch of them, and they're all on my personal page, Julie Blamphin, on Facebook. But I figured it's so easy to do. Laughter is so good for you. And when I'm talking about laughter, I mean laughter for no reason. No jokes, no need for any prompting. I mean, that's fun too. Yeah. But just laughing for no reason is just as beneficial as laughter with a reason.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's laugh. I mean, how what are we supposed to do? Just laugh? I mean, what?
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ask people this all the time, Sumair. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay, I am ready.
Here we go. I'm setting the timer. Are y'all ready out there? Are y'all ready to laugh? Here we go. 1 minute laughter. And go. No talking. No talking. Just laughing. We're halfway in.
My stomach hurts.
We're not done. Okay.
Oh wow.
1 minute.
Wow.
It's as easy as that.
It is easy when there's someone who has energy like you who's making it happen.
Right.
You know, I have tears in my eyes. Okay. Great. Wow. Awesome. And it does make you feel really good and releases those endorphins, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So anyone who's tuned in, please check out her Facebook page to be part of our, what are they called? Live laughter classes? What are they called?
Live laugh. And I laugh in all my programs. So
live laugh, and I think you'll have a great time and also laugh, which you cannot beat. So now, which brings us to my last question, and this is a question I ask everyone. And so here we go. If heaven exists and when you arrive at the pearly gates, what would you want God to say to you?
Oh, Sumair, this is a tricky one. Oh, what do I want God to say to me? That I'm good, that I've been good, that I've brought smiles, I've brought love, I've brought life, I've brought laughter into the universe during my time. That's what I want God to say to me.
Perfect. This is awesome. I mean, certainly we had quite a few laughs and also got to learn about you, yoga. So anyone who is tuned in, please go check her out on her Facebook page, her website. If I want to do yoga, I would want someone with your energy to help me, because energy is so important. It just makes things happen. Any parting comments you want to make, Julie?
I just want to thank you so much, Sumair. This is such a great opportunity. I love the concept of learn to laugh out loud. It is a message that we all need, and I shouldn't say even when, I should say especially when it might seem like there's nothing to laugh about. There's always reason for laughter. There's always reason for laughter. Just laugh. It's super good for you. Thank you so much, Sumair.
So thank you for being here. And anyone who's tuned in, you can watch me with a featured guest every week, every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Next week, we'll have someone else. So don't forget to tune in. And till that time, goodbye.